But yeah, so why don't y'all do the intro so you guys can know each other a little better?
Sure. Me?
Yeah, ladies first. Always, come on. We're polite here.
Laura. Laura Clontz. Sorry, I don't. This is so weird.
All right,
I'm not used to how to intro myself.
if you got stuck in an elevator and there's two other people in the elevator and you had to make small talk, what do you?
Well, you start with a joke to lighten the mood.
So that's how you break the ice.
Yeah.
Do you have a go-to?
I'd have to think of it in the moment. And depending on so we're stuck in the elevator. If the elevator kind of.
And it's like a 3-story building, so you're not gonna die. You're not terrified.
Okay, so that was what I was trying to figure out. Yeah. Is the cord is the elevator hanging by the cable?
If it did, we wouldn't die. It would be a very inconvenience to our immediate future. We would recover.
Got it.
3-story building.
Okay.
It's old though.
Yeah.
It's known to have shut down before.
Okay, so you could be a little bit more risky with your joke in that case.
Exactly, because these people live in your building likely. Right.
If you're in that area where you might get hurt, I think you want to play a little safer. Mm-hmm. If you're definitely gonna die,
then
you just go as risky as possible.
For sure, yeah. All right, so both scenarios. What are you saying? So I break that.
I don't know. I'd have to come up with it in the moment.
You're in the
Yeah, so I'd have to think about it for a couple of minutes in silence, and then hope that the other people in the elevator don't make the joke first, because then they ruin my entry.
You seem like you have a bunch of one-liners.
That's funny.
I feel like you have a pocketbook of hey, how much does a polar bear wear? I feel like you have a bunch of one-liners.
If I was stuck in an elevator, though, I'm probably not thinking about one-liners. I'm probably having a panic attack.
Oh, you don't like close spaces?
I can handle small spaces unless I'm stuck in small spaces. Mm-hmm. I went into some caves at Yosemite when I was younger.
Right.
And I don't really like that because, you got to go through the one way.
No, I don't fuck caves.
But yeah, I don't know. My name is Steven.
Food. Oh yeah.
So would you stay silent? Yeah. Well, in the locked elevator, because this is actually a personal hypothesis that I have is people, and the bigger the groups, people are the least natural. The bigger the group, and I feel like 3 is probably the ultimate size where you get the most natural reactions from people. I think.
I see what you did there.
I know.
I see what you did there.
Hey man, this is not my first episode. This is episode 55 right now.
That was beautiful.
No, but look, I got this theory where if you were to walk into a room and no one was there, you would be your weird self. You would talk to yourself out loud. You would maybe sing. You would do whatever. You might do if you had a skateboard, you might do a trick or whatever. If one other person's in that room, you would probably be a little awkward at first. You size that other person up. But for some reason, when there's another person, it's you have to make a friend. One of you guys is gonna make a friend with that other person first. So there's a competition to see who could be more cordial. But then the more people, then it's you're sizing up more and more people, because a lot of people are worried about what the other person's gonna think of them.
Well, then you might sort yourself into groups, and then
the groups.
That's crazy, man. This isn't a podcast. This is a social experience.
It's just a conversation, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why you get nervous. It's just a conversation.
So I'm a lab rat.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You think I just invited you because I like you? I'm busy, man. This is work for me. No, but yeah, so what kind of person are you in this elevator?
I'm probably the quiet guy trying to figure it out.
Figure out how you gonna get out of it, or figure out what's up with the other 2 people. If you were stuck with us, what would you say? Who you would say nothing? Laura would be the one that cracks the joke first.
I would definitely try to introduce myself and then try to be okay, what can we do?
Yeah.
To get out of this situation.
You're a problem solver.
Yeah, I would try to get out. I'm sure you guys are great people, but we're stuck in an elevator, so let's get out.
Yeah. Okay. You'd crack the joke.
I'd crack the joke, and then I think I'd probably do a little bit of problem solving because that's in my nature, but then just keep the mood up and keep everyone excited and happy and motivated.
Yeah. So with that attitude, I bet you get a lot of people that get attached to that really quickly when you are like that. And I feel like when you do that, you don't want the attachment. You're probably just like trying to break the stale.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm just trying to get everybody. I don't know.
So
Ultimately, I want everyone to be able to support themselves, and so I'm trying to like keep their moods up so that they can keep themselves excited and happy.
Yeah.
You know?
But so why do you try to do that with no attachment though? Because that's what the hard part I've had to deal with is like either I'm a friendly person and people get too attached, or I'm just completely standoffish. I have not been able to find like a healthy in between. Like either people like me too much or people think I'm an asshole.
Okay, so what's really happening though is something is being triggered in you by people trying to be attached to you.
Something's triggered in me.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. That's making you go, oh shit, like I don't want that, go away.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm really self-aware, and I feel like I've experienced in order to have whatever relationship, I think you need to give some sort of effort and time. They're not the same thing, effort and time. And I know that with my personal goals, I don't have a lot of either. So I'd rather not disappoint somebody, because I have disappointed like not even like women, but like guy friends. I've had guys like upset at me because I have not hung out with them enough. And like I don't crazy. But so I would like to avoid that at all costs. I don't want to disappoint somebody that I know I'm not going to be able to give. I may have missed out on a lot of dope people, to be honest, because of this. But like if I've let you into my circle, like I've really vetted you, or you've really won me over somehow. It's like I'm not really like, I'm cool with everybody, but I don't.
So do you not want to disappoint people, or do you not want to feel guilty?
That's a good question.
I don't want to disappoint people, and I will feel guilty if that happens. Yeah. If I know I tried and the person disappointed, I wouldn't feel as guilty. But if I know I could have gave more, that's where I will feel guilty, because I've been raised not to ever half-ass anything, I know if I can't give that effort, I'd rather not even try, because I don't want to hurt people or whatever. This is not about me. This is about y'all. This is you guys. Yeah. So why do you break the ice? Why are you trying to be that friendly person? Knowing that the attachment's gonna follow regardless.
I mean, I think that's in my nature. So I'm a manager for work, and actually I've found a lot of value in that. A lot of like self-confidence in it. I really like teaching or attempting to teach people different ways of thinking or different ways of looking at things, so that they can become more self-sufficient and more capable and have more experience and go do whatever it is that they want to do. So I think that's just sort of in my nature to kind of keep people like motivated and excited.
Okay. And have you always been an introvert, or did you turn into this because of something that happened?
I feel like I open up around like people I'm really close to about, it depends on what the topic is. I don't know. I feel like I've always been quiet, and it kind of comes from my mom. My mom's always kind of reserved.
Okay.
Keeps things in house.
She didn't hug you a lot. No, wait, because my mom wasn't a really affectionate person growing up at first. So me and my brother have dealt with that, and since we've been able to be more open, she has seen that that's something that she has actually really. I feel awesome. I feel horrible that there was that conversation that we had to have for a while. But she wasn't really that like person I could go to about my feelings growing up. You have to be tough. She's African. Like, what are you complaining about? Like, there's people in my village. That was a speech I always got. There's people back, you have it way better. So
I feel the complete opposite. My dad is actually from Belize.
Okay.
In Central America. And I feel like I could always talk to him about things, but I feel like he doesn't really empathize with like a lot of like first generation American problems. He comes from a culture and a generation where it's like, you get it on your own, you find your way. If you're not, something's wrong, so figure it out. So I feel like my mom was that person that I could talk to, but she was always like really reserved. So
She's from here?
yeah, she's from Santa Barbara. So I feel like I have picked up, that same kind of.
Do you know how your dad and your mom met?
They met in church.
Okay.
Yeah, he moved to LA with the
That's
brother.
the best dating spot.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, he met my mom in church. He moved to LA. Then he moved to SB, and then like one of his coworkers or somebody invited him to church.
Right.
And that's how he met my mom.
Yeah.
They started dating, and we're here.
What? You're a Christian too? That's crazy. Like that's the part. That's the place where you're gonna find the most common interest. Church and college are the two places.
I feel like it
Or
would be
synagogue.
kind of awkward in church.
Why?
I don't know.
So
because-
did you grow up in a church growing up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Do you still go to church?
Not
On
as
your
much
own?
as I should.
Yeah. So you feel like you should?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So why do you think it'd be weird to meet somebody in church?
Just because I feel like it's kind of weird to like spit game and like, you got Jesus, on the cross looking down at you.
Right.
I don't know.
Do you think, so looking back, do you think your dad spit game, or do you think he was just being genuine, like, oh, I really liked it?
Like read the Bible with
Right.
you.
Yeah. Let's have some Bible study sessions together.
I don't think so. He probably spit game. To be honest.
Right.
To be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to like throw him under the
Stop
bus
throwing
or
the bus.
like say like he's out here wilding, but
Right.
he probably was.
Right. How did your parents meet?
Work.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So they don't care about the whole HR policy or nothing. What do they do?
My dad is an occupational therapist.
Wait. So helps you rehab when like back injuries or carpal tunnel from work?
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah.
occupational therapist.
But he's always worked in either school districts with kids with mental and physical disabilities or nursing homes.
Okay.
So he helps rehab those. So versus like sports. type
Okay.
of,
Yeah,
rehab. And then my mom does, generally she's doing, or was doing vocational counseling for people with mental and physical disabilities as well. No, so job counseling.
Okay.
So helping people with mental and physical disabilities find jobs.
Wow.
Go to school, learn skills, things like that.
So your parents are the best people on the planet.
Yeah, so they do.
Jesus. What do your parents do?
My dad is retired, and my mom works at she's a registrar at Oxnard College.
She could have got me a discount.
Probably.
Bro, what? I paid full price for this class.
You should have plugged up.
Did you go there?
No, I didn't. I went to VC.
Okay.
But yeah, she's been there for just a couple years.
Okay.
She was at UCSB before that.
Okay. Oh, she was?
Yeah. So
So
she's pretty new up there. I don't know how long you've been there.
You could have got a discount at UCSB, right?
I don't know. That was never an option for me. Like I just never thought about going to school there.
So so when you were coming up, was education like highly emphasized from your parents? What did your dad do? You said he's graduated now. I'm sorry, not graduated.
He just retired. He worked at like a home for like abandoned and kids with autism.
Jesus.
Or like if their parents had money and like they didn't have like the time or like the resources to take care of the kids.
Yeah.
So they'd it was like a home where people would take shifts, like providing for the kids.
Oh, your parents are the greatest people on the planet.
Nah,
I mean
they're cool.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he did that. They wanted me to go to school and go the traditional route, of course, but they were like very supportive and accepting of me, like wanting to do music or like find whatever path I wanted to choose.
That's awesome.
I forget from last time, music was early on for you. Like you always had a passion for music?
Yeah, like my dad also on the sides, on the weekends, he worked at a radio station at 91.9.
Okay.
And they run it like right off campus at UCSB.
Okay.
He did that when I was little. So I always went to the station with him and like it looked like like the
records everywhere, right?
Yeah, there's records everywhere, but like it looked like the cockpit of like the Millennium
Uh-huh.
Falcon, and there's so many lights and switches. And so
Yeah.
me as a little kid, I'm like, this is so cool.
Right.
And yeah, I just got like really cheap equipment like when I was in high school, and
Yeah.
I just tried to practice and get better, and just pursued it ever since.
Yeah. My dad worked at a radio station too in college.
That's dope.
It's crazy when I find out like I've done the same things that my dad did, because he never really opened up about his past, but he was like, oh yeah, I did that once. I was like, you could have been helping me a long time ago. Yeah.
It's always kind of weird to find those parallels with your parents.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you catch it, you're like, oh, like this is something my mom would say, this is something my dad would say.
Yeah. No, it is hella scary. That's super tight though. So I had no idea. So your dad was a disc jockey for a while.
Yeah,
at
he
the radio
was.
station. He's sharing any stories of cool people who's interviewed or whatever.
It was usually just local people.
Yeah.
I don't think he had any stories of like, yeah, I had Beyonce come through when she was in high school, like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was usually just local people, just have them in and do the thing, play some songs.
My dad told me at the time he interviewed like Dick Gregory, because at Stanford, like a bunch of people come through all the time. I was on a radio show in my college too. He didn't tell me until afterwards. Did you ever?
How convenient.
Did you ever try to work at the station?
I actually went in there twice.
Yeah.
And it was really fun.
Okay.
I came in as a guest.
Yeah.
I did like 2 house mixes there, like house music. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. Like it came full circle, like to be the little kid,
That's
like
pretty cool.
Right.
in the corner, like being told to be quiet because they're recording, to like being the person being interviewed, and it was really fun.
So wait, do you have to be a student to work on the station?
No, they actually have like the programmer. You can go. I think they switch the schedules up like twice a year.
Yeah.
So you can go in and like audition or like pitch a show. And, like if it fits the slot and it's like something that's clean and like appropriate, then yeah, you can get in. You might post your own situation.
And the alumnus or the legacy thing isn't help, because I feel like that's a perfect, college kids or high school kids would be the perfect segment to like get hooked onto your brand. I feel like, because they would follow that throughout their life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a really good like market to tap into, because it's like right there in IV. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's a really young community of like kids, and yeah, that'd be really solid.
Yeah. So so help Laura understand, you've done the DJ thing along this, but what else on the side? Because it obviously hasn't helped pay for your life.
It has.
You've been able to pay bills based off of.
Yeah, I DJ full time, and I actually got a new spot like 3 months ago.
This wasn't the same. This not the same Steez.
I know.
As last time he was here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, doing it full time now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So did you do the college route?
Huh?
Did you do the college route?
I did. Yeah. I went to school in Texas, University of Texas at Tyler,
What was expected of you?
to go to school.
Okay.
Yeah, it was never really a question.
No, that was mine too. It was my expectation was just to go to college. That's what I
Yeah.
thought at least, and it stopped there. It was my issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was just you get a high school degree, you get a college degree, and then you'll work, and you probably won't like it.
But did you have any idea of what that work would be at that point?
No,
You just
not
knew
at all.
you weren't gonna like it.
Yeah, I knew that work, as I understood it, work is not something that you enjoy. It's just something that you do.
Yeah.
But my view of work was that no one was happy about the work that they did. I mean, it was all the red tape. I mean, especially my mom and dad both working for the state, like a ton of red tape, a ton of government involvement,
Logistics.
and the paperwork and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when I was trying to figure out what to do for school or what to study, I had no idea.
Yeah.
What I recall is that my parents said, well, you're good at math, you should get an accounting degree.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't necessarily.
It's the only you're so limited to, and there's so many opportunities
Totally.
when you get in college, but it doesn't matter what college it is. And so there's such a breakdown of communication. It's like somehow needs to get fixed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got an accounting degree, and pretty quickly I knew I did not want to be an accountant.
Yeah, I could see you hating that.
Yeah. I'd be miserable.
You're probably good at it though.
I was capable of it.
Bro, she can do anything that she puts her mind to. She's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's super determined.
Yeah. So I got out of school and then tried to figure out what I wanted to do from there. I worked at Anthropology, the retail store.
Isn't that that's like a really expensive high end?
Yeah.
But they sell like
stupid shit.
Random goods.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I worked there.
It's like an expensive vintage store, a thrift store. Yeah.
They did not pay me much at all.
Do you make commission? Just okay.
So I was a department manager there, and I was making very, very, very little.
Yeah.
And working a lot.
Yeah.
They've since had to pay for that kind of behavior, but whatever. So I worked there for a while.
What did that experience teach you, working there for so long?
Do what?
What did that experience? Was that the first time you ever quit a job?
I quit like my high school jobs. I worked at Smoothie King, Hollister, Pump It Up.
You worked in a mall pretty much?
All
the mall spots?
All the places. Red Lobster.
First job you ever had?
My first job was working at Lassen's grocery store locally.
Nice.
That's how you say it, Lassen's?
Yeah.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
How do you say it?
I thought it was Lassen's.
Lassen's.
Yeah, I thought it was like yeah. That's what I thought, like Target and Lassen's.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's kind of like it's like the local Whole Foods.
Basically, I mean they're like a California chain now. They have some like up in the Bay now. They have
I did see that. That's crazy. I can't believe
they have one in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Now.
I saw the ones down. I saw the Larson's.
Larson's is completely
What's
different.
it called?
Lassen's.
Your first job was?
I don't remember.
Do you remember your first job?
No, because I had a lot. And so I think my first one was probably, off, like not with a W-4, obviously babysitting.
Yeah.
With one, probably Pump It Up.
Pump It Up?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you get a job? And what? I'm assuming high school, like sophomore.
Yeah, it was
junior.
high school.
Why did you get a job?
Because I always liked working more than school.
Yeah.
So I always liked having my own money, and I don't think it was forced on me, but I wasn't getting like an allowance, so I wasn't getting spending money.
Right.
So I pretty much worked from 15 and have had at least one or two jobs.
Pump it up. Pump it up. It's like sweaty children all day long. Oh my gosh. Okay. First paycheck. Do you guys remember what it was like to get your first paycheck?
I was excited.
Okay.
It wasn't the greatest, but I was excited. Like in hindsight.
Were you excited before you got it, or when you saw it, you was like, I made it?
I feel like payday makes everything worth it.
That's not for me.
Really? Like when I would get checks, I'd always look at it and I'd be like, okay, this is why I put up with Sally on Tuesday.
I know I gotta assume Lassen's, you weren't above minimum wage, were you?
Yeah, they started off paying above minimum wage. It was like $1 or $2.
Nice.
That was your first job?
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't know how it is now. I don't know what the situation is.
I don't want to say that.
Not trying to like make it hot if somebody works there now. It's like, hey, he said he made.
Right.
But yeah, it was pretty good. I was like fresh out of college. I was 18.
I remember being so disappointed in my first check.
Really?
Yeah, I remember because I worked hella hours in my uncle's pizza parlor.
Oh.
See, it's like a family business situation. And I was working there ever since I could walk. It was like a rite of passage in my family. You would work at my uncle's pizza parlor. And he had several different ones throughout the course of most of my life. But
that's crazy.
It was like my brother started working there. That was his first job. That was my first job. That was his kid's first job. And like I started working there. I was busting tables. And I was getting tips busting tables. I wasn't even on payroll. The people would just pay me. It was like a round table. It was round table. And I'm getting people soda. Like where else have you ever had full service? Raintover, and I would get tips. And I remember the first time I was on payroll and I finally got paid after a week. I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to do this.
Get anything.
And I did it only because it was my uncle, so I stayed through with it through high school, and I liked working more than not doing anything else because I didn't really have a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends, but I didn't really I wasn't going out drinking. I wasn't like partying in high school that much. So I preferred to work to make money, but it was I would sit there and count the hours, how much I'd be making for the whole shift. I'm like, this is not what I want to do. and I was super money driven growing up. What was you were money driven too? Why? What did you want to like? Did you see someone rich, or were your parents?
No, we weren't rich. We were fine.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't necessarily have we didn't go on vacations really or anything like that. But Tyler's a pretty wealthy city.
Okay.
So I saw a lot of people with money.
Okay.
And I was definitely always chasing. I think it was less that I was chasing the money in order to buy what I wanted,
Right.
but I was chasing popularity.
Right.
And money as a means to getting popularity.
The rich kids were popular.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would you say was one of your higher values?
For me,
That was directing your.
I mean, it was like in high school, it was nice to like have money to like buy things, but I guess once I got my first job and like started working and stuff, I just wanted to like live on my own terms and like just get it my own way. Like that was something that my parents like they wanted to like me to understand like how to find your own way to get things like where you're not dependent on them or the next person or whatever. Like you can find your own way to get what you need to get. So yeah, I just wanted to sustain myself.
Looking back, what was one thing that you wished you had learned when you were around that age before you got your first jobs? Like what's one parenting tip or life lesson you wish you would have known?
I don't know. I don't know how to solve it. I think I wish I would have. I wish as a child I wasn't so concerned about being the perfect whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that lasted, pretty much through last year.
You had like, she had the colored pencils, she had the sharpener.
Yeah.
You had the whole toolbox.
Yeah.
Throughout high school.
Everything had to appear to be perfect.
Um,
I'm picturing this person in my head right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I guess maybe the same thing, like just being better about handling myself under pressure, or like being a better problem solver, like something like that.
No, keep going.
I feel like a lot of times if I face any type of adversity, I kind of just like
Curl
throw
into
my
it.
hands up like, whoa, this isn't going the way I want it to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with this right now. Like I wish back in high school I knew better, like
For sure.
like, hey, like you're gonna hit bumps in the road, like it's
Right.
okay to not
Right.
get it the first time. So that's something I wish I'd known back then.
Do you have a specific story? I feel like you do. I feel like you have one of many specific stories that you can talk about. You could have acted in a different way.
I guess one I could think of is like with DJing. Like when I first started, I thought like I was just like this wide-eyed kid. I was like, oh, like if you love music, like and you work hard, like everything will work out. Like sometimes there's people who will like be in a way and like in positions of power that won't give you a chance.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter how nice you are or how good you are. Like you just might not get the spot. And like sometimes it would like discourage me earlier on, and I would like lack my motivation, and like I wouldn't try as hard. But that just kind of comes with it. Like if you care about it, like in a creative field, you might not get the keys to the city right away. So yeah, that's something where I wish I'd learned like patience and how to like better maneuver like adversity and like roadblocks and things like that.
Right. Do you have a story that you could like wish and go back and just kind of redo?
Well, so that's an interesting question. It's similar to, do you have any regrets?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the more I go through my life and I think about all the people that I've met and the places that I've gone and then, all of that.
Yeah.
I can't be truthful if I say that I regret any of the things that happened or that I did.
Yeah.
Because had I not done those things, that would be top of the list,
For sure.
right? To like, save myself heartache or whatever, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
And being here is, being where I'm at right now, being in Ventura, doing the job that I do, like knowing the people that I know, like I couldn't ask for anything better. And like, I also know that my life in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years is going to be, even better than it is, like where I'll look back and go,
right.
And 2020 wasn't all that great,
right.
But I don't know, I'm where I need to be.
Yeah.
And everything that I did before that took me here.
For sure. No, I say this to a lot of my friends all the time, but I really feel like most of my biggest like growth and victories, I guess, have come from failures.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have examples of like failures that ended up turning into really big W's?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. One of my first DJ residencies was at a nightclub bar in this community. I'm not gonna name it.
You're not gonna give them any. Yeah. Okay.
But basically, when I first started like trying to DJ professionally, I'll never forget it. I sent an email to. First of all, I went to the place in person like one night. That's one thing I learned about DJing. Like you can't. Like if you want to book something, probably don't go when it's like the busiest time of the night.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna meet somebody who can help you, and if you do,
conversation,
they're probably it's really busy and they don't want to be talking to some snot-nosed kid talking about getting in here playing.
Got work here.
So I went in and I talked to security. Hey, look, who's the person I can talk to about playing here? And they brought out the promoter, and the guy handed me a card and walked off.
Right.
Like back then I didn't know any better, but like typically when people hand you the card, it's not like sweet. It's kind of like this is like a way to end this interaction.
Yeah. So hey, don't call me, I'll call you.
Yeah. it was one of those.
Yeah.
So me not knowing any better, I sent the guy an email the next day, and then he called me later in the afternoon, and he told me like straight up on the phone, I don't care how good you are, you're never gonna play here.
What?
And I was like, what? I was like, why are you like,
that's so
like, did I slaughter your family in a past life? Like, why are you being so mean to me right now? And a year later I ended up having a residency there every weekend.
Oh wow.
That dude still worked there?
No, he was gone. He was gone. And the owners called me directly and asked me.
Oh, no.
So let me ask you, why do you think he told you that?
Honestly, I think he was just in a position of power to say no, and maybe he had like a rough night.
That's perspective on other people's what they're going through has been so huge. That's crazy though.
Because like I shook his hand, like I was being respectful. Like it was really quick interaction, so I didn't think I did anything wrong. He seemed cool when he walked away, and then like when he called me back, it was like, whoa, like, this isn't the guy that I met last night.
No matter how good you are, I'm not gonna hire you. That's crazy. What's a really, really big L that you've taken that's turned into a positive?
Probably my divorce.
Okay.
That was extremely challenging in the moment. And extremely disappointing personally. And I knew that I was disappointing other people. It's not ever something that, you want to, it's not on your list to do. It's not something that people want to go accomplish. But, I think through that, I learned a lot about, how to deal with conflict. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the things that I learned that I had never really gotten to know myself, and like the things that I like and the things that make me me. And I think I learned that at least for me, my body is going to tell me when like what I'm trying to do doesn't match what I actually want to do. And I think for a long, I didn't realize that I was lying. I was literally lying to myself about, trying to be the perfect whatever to everybody. And that went for friendships, that went for my relationship, that went for my family, everywhere. And so it came out in like anxiety, or it came out in like just being like physically ill, or whatever. And so I've learned to listen to like what my own mind is telling me, and to really dig into things more, and understand like what's really going on. So like earlier when I asked you about being guilty or disappointing, it's like sitting with whatever uncomfortable thing that you're thinking about and really trying to figure out what is it. Because what you think it is may not really be what it is. And eventually, you know, you can get down to the core fear or whatever it is that's motivating it, and you go, oh, that's actually has to do with whatever conversation I had. So like with you and like the guy that shot you down, like, yeah, maybe he did have a shitty day, or maybe he's just like not a nice person because he has this all, not as an excuse, but he's got all this other crap that he's like never dealt with, and he's just not a nice person because he's, maybe other people aren't nice to him, or he's had a lot of like adversity and like, I don't know. So that empathy, I think, is one of the things that's been really key to learn for me too.
Emotional intelligence for also like all through all that, like just understanding other people and understanding yourself, how you show up. Obviously you guys are in two different spaces right now. I think eventually in the future you're gonna end up in somewhere close to where he is.
Partying late night.
I see that for you. I don't like looking back 10 years ago. That Laura, like, would she ever? She's like, you're gonna work in an office.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see how old. So I'm 31. So 10 years ago, I was planning my wedding. So I wasn't really like a partier.
That's crazy.
Oh, also 10 years ago, I was in school. So I was in my last semester of college. I was working at Red Lobster Thursday through Friday. And I was working at a grocery warehouse.
The bread.
The cheddar bay biscuits are pretty good.
No, I've actually never been to Red Lobster before.
What?
The bread is good. How do you?
Let's put a pause on what you're talking about right now.
Oh gosh. So you have to add this.
If someone were gonna offer you,
I'm nervous.
Olive Garden breadsticks.
Okay, you set up the question wrong.
What's the
it's
question?
Already a no.
What restaurant has the best pre-meal bread?
What's the restaurant that has the best pre-meal bread?
I would say Red Lobster without prior knowledge of this conversation.
You're just trying to cater to your audience right now, bro. Are you serious?
No. The bread is very different. At Red Lobster, it's almost like a biscuit.
It is, yeah.
So over Cheesecake Factory.
No, that bread is kind of hard. Like where they have like the different cuts of
the bread,
basket.
the brown and the white.
I don't
it's like America in one basket.
I don't like that.
It's like my couch right now. I like the bread.
For the record, I like America being a basket. I don't like. I don't like the cheesecake.
It's like a Cheesecake Factory bread basket. That's what.
Why do you have to word it like that, knowing that I don't like it?
Yeah. So you. Okay, I'm sorry. So you're working at Red Lobster.
Oh, and I had an internship at a grocery warehouse where I worked from 4 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday.
What were you doing? Accounting?
It was inventory, something to do with inventory. So I worked in their warehouse. I rode a little golf cart around this huge warehouse, and I would find missing pallets of stuff that was misplaced. And I would try to improve their logistics process. It was so much fun. Like it was clearly a precursor to what I'm doing now.
One of your biggest strengths is you're a problem solver.
I am.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is like, you need to see it all the way through.
Yes.
Like, cause like you get super obsessive over fixing that problem. So how do we get you in a place that you're gonna find super fulfilling? I think you're gonna be like the greatest entrepreneur ever, because that's all inventions are, right? They just solve problems to issues that we currently have.
My biggest problem is conveying what the solution is.
What do you mean conveying?
Like my brain works in very much like an if this then that kind of chain.
Okay.
But what that means is that I can see things like I can sense what will happen 5 steps ahead. Okay. Not like
playing chess.
Telepathically sense, but you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, that happens and these people are going to react like this and then this and this, right? Yeah. So I can see that, and so I'm like, oh, we got to solve for that, and so then I try to create some plan to get us there, but no one sees this risk or this problem or whatever, and so they're like, no, that's too much. We're not doing that. They don't get it. 100%. So I have a hard problem. Like I have a hard time trying to get people to see what that looks like.
You gotta lie. That's what I'm. No, wait, because I'm always the guy that's wrong until what I said was right. Like you just said, I actually 100% agree with that. Like I can predict what's probably going to happen, but I don't do a really great job at getting people on board with that message because I don't sell it well enough. I just say how it is. I'm like, hey, like you probably could do it this way, but this is going to be the better way to do something. But I don't create enough fear. Like I don't do the Trump. If we learned, we can learn from Trump.
Right? God. Okay.
Trump does a really good job at scaring you into thinking one thing, right? So we can take positives.
I don't know. I don't take anything so seriously.
All right, this is a brand new segment. I've had 55 episodes and I've never done this before. It's a brand new segment. This is gonna be ask somebody that's not in your world. What is a question you wish you could ask someone that blue collar? No, we're white collar. Are we white collar? What's something you wish you could ask someone in corporate America? Because you have a great representative right here in front of you. What's something you don't understand or that you would like to get more insight into? And you're gonna have to ask the same to someone that works in his life.
I don't know if I've ever had like some long, like some lifelong question.
It's not a lifelong question, but
maybe I would ask like, are you happy with the path that you chose? That's probably the one that I'll pick.
I'm doing this segment for now on. I love it. Those are already great questions.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Am I happy? Am I answering the question or asking another one?
You're answering his question.
I'm answering his question.
Answer him.
Okay. Yes and no. There's definitely pros. But what I found is that over time, the tangible pros of like the perks and the money and the title is not necessarily as fulfilling as it seemed to be from the outside when you didn't have it. And I think that I'm figuring out that our interests probably change over time and over several years. Hopefully we're all changing and taking on different types of jobs just so that we can expand our skill set more versus like staying in the same type of job for a very long time. Because for me, at least, that gets kind of boring. But I think my question back to you, and then we'll have you answer.
I'm not. This is my show. You're not gonna tell me what I'm going to do. Yeah.
What does work look like for you, and how much prep are you doing outside of your full time? You know what I mean? Like, how do you what does that look like? How do you stay motivated? Like for me, it's like, okay, I've got this to-do list of like do this Excel sheet or whatever. It's very tangible and like I can check stuff off. Do you feel like you have that?
You have structure.
I create the structure because I feel like if I don't, then things wouldn't get done. I wouldn't have a schedule booked or anything like that. I also produce. I produce music as well as DJ.
Great songs, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I make sure I wake up at a certain time and I allot a certain amount of time to produce and prep my sets throughout the day, because I don't have like a set schedule of like when to be somewhere. Like everything is on my own terms, so I have to create that structure for myself.
Have you always had that or built that structure for yourself, or have you learned over time that you need that?
I've learned to create it because I feel like if I don't, like being in a creative field, like if you don't do it for yourself, like it's not gonna
It's
happen.
not gonna, yeah. That's interesting. I have a follow-up. Can you tell me about producing? Because I don't know really what that means.
Yeah, so I use a digital software to create music, and yeah, I use a laptop, and I have.
But
like,
you have to like dumb it down. Like, yo, you create music,
So
bro. Like tone.
Do you hear the tones in your head, and then you put it?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know.
No, that's bro. Like, cause we've been hearing music since the beginning of time.
Yeah,
For sure.
and I'm really good at singing along with it and like mimicking something that already existed. How do you read it
I'm
from
sorry.
scratch?
I came at like a whole.
No,
You
level.
came
okay.
at, like we knew what we
I
were
was at
talking
a 7
about.
and you guys are.
We're at a -1.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I play drums and I play piano.
Okay.
And I use a digital software that has like sounds that I can create myself, or I can use like stock sounds, and I can download. And whenever I get an idea for a song, like I hear it in my head, so I'll try to like recreate it as best I can.
Pause. You hear it in your head. Did you hear a record and you're like, oh, this would sound cool if it was faster or slower, or
something like that, or like I could just be like hopping out of the car and I can hear like birds chirping.
Bro, I'm so jealous of that. I'm so jealous of that.
What if I like make like some high pitched thing that sounds like?
I'm so jealous of that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I don't have that. I wish I had that more. I wish I would rather be able to make music than be funny.
Wow, I think you're pretty funny actually.
Here's my thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry, like I'm the guy in the back of the club, like cracking up like long after.
Right. Laura, don't judge me for this.
Okay.
I feel like me and my people theories. I feel like musicians have the better repertoire of women versus comedians. Comedians get the more inner beauty type girls. And the musicians get the fictive, like the superficial, like the lifestyle type girls, right? The ones that like put all the makeup on and like all the fake ass nails and the they're just more about the appeal versus the comedian girl groupies. Everyone has groupies. That's one thing. First of all, everybody has groupies. No one likes their groupies. For the most part. Right. So I just feel like if I could spit 6 bars.
What if you were like Weird Al?
Weird Al Yankovic has groupies. That fool had
right, but it's
a comedian
the combo
rapper.
of the comedian.
But that's what I'm saying. I know people that are like that. I know people that are
people
funny
who
and
enjoy
have that.
Weird Al are a whole different
that's true.
type.
You're right.
Who's a funny rapper?
A funny rapper, I would say Guap Dad 4000.
You like Guap Dad?
Shout out to Oakland.
Yo, you from the Bay?
It's a check.
Sorry, we'll catch you. We'll fill you in.
We're about to have a moment. I feel it coming.
So yeah, so there are rappers like that do. There are people that can blend it.
Yeah.
I have no like musical. They used to call me Twix because all I could have was like 2 bars. That's about it. I'm trying to open up. You just over here.
Sorry.
Nah, but yeah, I just like the comedian groupies are usually the bigger. Like, if you needed something to break the ice that we talked about earlier, it's comedian groupies, man.
Interesting.
Right. And so, if we're being completely honest, half of the reason why I started doing comedy was because, like, what could I do that would attract? Because, like, there was a moment where I was really successful at my job, and I was living in the Bay, and I had no game whatsoever, and I could not believe it. I was like 24 years old, 23 years old, and I was like, I'm making money, like I'm a college graduate, and nobody's into me. Like, what the fuck? I was so confused, right? And then, so there was like a low I hit there that was related to. And then all of a sudden, I was like, at my low, I was like, well, I might as well try comedy, and it would be crazy because I had to move back into my mom's house. When I lost my job, and I started doing open mic comedy, and people was super attracted to me, and I was like, what? Like, I'm not making money right now. Like, I'm just funny. And all of a sudden, funny became like the new gangster, and that's when I really became attracted to the potential of me being a comedian. So it was like the peacocking thing. I was like, well, I enjoy this, and like. It's attracting people. Like, let me continue on this route, because the earlier shit, like, I didn't really enjoy the other stuff, but the business world is boring to a lot of people, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm very vain. Seem deep, I'm very vain.
For me, I hear what you're saying, and like I understand like why you feel the way you do.
Yeah.
But I was getting into music really early on,
Right.
before I even liked girls.
Yeah, you probably got in it for
So-
the right reasons. I went in it for the superficial.
So yeah, like it was kind of blindsiding when I did get, you know, like if girls like come up on stage and like they got their phones out like
Right.
on their IG
Oh,
story,
yeah,
and
yeah, right,
I'm
right.
kind of like, whoa,
What is happening here?
Yeah, I'm
right.
like, hello. Like,
Right. Excuse me, I'm trying to do my job.
Well, yeah, but I'm just like I'm me. I'm just like,
Right.
I grew up right down the street. Like,
Right.
But
Right. Yeah. It's like I'm just all right. So I stopped you. So you hear birds chirping, and you're like, oh, this might be dope if you add this
something
or that.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, not necessarily birds, but maybe it could be like a commercial where like the jingle, like it's like a tone can like resonate, and you can just like be on your phone and you hear it and you're like, whoa,
Right.
what was that?
Right.
Do you send yourself like voice recordings if you're not near your...
Sometimes. I used to do that a lot when I first started producing.
Yeah.
Like kind of like hum out like a melody or something. But now I can usually just like peck at some keys like really quick and like record it and just get the idea out. Like most of the time when I do that, it doesn't become a song, but like it's good to just like, you know, get it out there. Sometimes I end up like going back months later
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes something. It's not always like instant.
Immediate. That's so cool.
Same with jokes, or not jokes, but just like I don't write a joke because I'm not like a punchline writer. I'm more of that's a funny thing that I just saw happen, and my job is to figure out a way to tell it so that you would understand it. Because I think everything is fucking funny. Like I laugh at everything, but I have to figure out a way to tell it so that you would seem as funny.
Do you? So I've we've gone to dinner, like group dinners, a couple times the last
Right.
couple weeks, and I had observed that it feels like you're like trying out different punchlines to see how they are reacted
That's
to.
yeah. I mean,
Do you do that
kinda.
consciously or not?
More consciously now.
Because sometimes
Yeah, more
you'll
conscious
do.
now, and I feel cheap doing that.
No. I think it's I appreciated it,
Yeah.
but I could see you like testing out different like endings of something to like figure out like which one like.
Yeah,
ends
I don't do
best.
open mics. See,
Yeah.
a lot of comics will tell you the story if they did open mics to test out things,
Right.
but it's not natural to me. And
Yeah.
it's forced, and a lot of open mics are shitty settings. It's
Right.
like it's only like a huge crowd of other comics where they're like, you know, he's not gonna be funnier than me. It's not a natural setting. So when I do try to retell things, I try to see if like, does this fit better there? Yeah, I use life as my open mic for sure. And
Do
people,
you like carry around like a notepad?
I do.
Okay.
I do, but I mean, most of my stories, the only reason why I have a notepad is because if I happen to say something new or see something new that I want to try to work out.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, like everything I tell on stage is really like stuff I would tell my friends.
Uh-huh.
And that's how I started my first jokes. Were just all stuff I used to tell my friends all the time. And or their family or my family, and stuff that people laughed at. Like all my jokes are like 90% true,
Mhm.
right? Like the 10% lie just comes into helping it flow
Yeah.
with the other story. So, you know, I don't necessarily need to write out the joke. I'll write something out that I thought was funny, and I have to figure out how to tell it so that you understand it
Mm-hmm.
the way my sick brain
Mm-hmm.
thinks it's funny. I think I'm the last person you want to come to if your dog is about to die. or
Oh,
your grandma's
no.
dying. I'm the worst person, bro, because I
Oh,
will
no.
find anything funny about that scenario. Don't
You're always
trust.
like
Don't.
that? Or is that new?
Yeah. My mom laughs at everything. She's
Okay.
really bad. I think it's like a nervous laughter.
Uh-huh.
I think she has that Joker syndrome.
Uh-huh.
That
Oh.
Joaquin Phoenix
I
has.
just saw
Does
that.
that annoy you, or do you play it up?
That she does that.
Do you get annoyed that she laughs at everything, or are you like, oh, my goal is to make her laugh as much as possible?
No, like I don't try to make my mom laugh. I
Okay.
don't try to make
You don't try to make other people laugh? That's not your motivator?
I try to make people that I don't care about laugh. So
Okay.
it's like people at work, like I will fit in something. I try to be professional at work, but then every now and then I fit in some corporate humor or whatever, and I try something out if I feel like they're vibing with me, because that's the other thing I didn't learn was not everybody is gonna receive your jokes right. Like I'm sure something you had to learn was not everybody's gonna like your music, and that's completely fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I feel like if someone is vibing with me, I will test out my material. Because there's rooms I've done where like nobody thought I was funny, and that ate at me when I was first early on, until I got mature and realized that like you can tell a joke 10 times and there could be that one time that room or whoever's didn't really find you funny, and that's okay. You don't have to. That's not your fault. You didn't find me funny. It's just your life. I've heard people say that they don't understand comedy, and I was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" Right? But that's them. Who am I to judge?
I feel that same way when it gets to a point in the night where like if I'm scrolling through my songs and it's like playing a set and I pass like one of my own like songs that I made myself, like I'll be like, like should I play this? Like I don't know. Like sometimes like early on I would play songs that were like the wrong genre for the wrong crowd and it would never go off, and I always like felt that same way.
You're like, what is wrong with y'all? This is gold.
But there's
right.
I mean, yeah, but
yeah.
I mean that's the level of pride everybody has in like what they create. But you just kind of have to roll the punches and understand like your audience, and just know that like it's always not gonna hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just comes with time.
Yeah, for sure. And then that confidence is like you don't ride and die. I remember I used to ride and die off of every show I ever did. I would either be high as hell or I'd be super low, like my life was worthless. I would just be all up and down, and it was a really hard way to live. I had more positive than negative, which is why I'm still pursuing this, but it's, I don't ride as much. I would be mad at myself if I know I could have done better. Like if there's places I left a joke or the places where I slurred a word or didn't tell the story right, I'll be mad at myself, but people didn't laugh. Like if I get one chuckle, I'm like, all right, cool. Like I connected with one person. I don't need the whole room to erupt in laughter, but usually once I get that first, because I am nervous until I get that first chuckle, then I'm like, all right, cool, like we're good, we got a normal crowd here. There's nothing worse than talking to us blank faces. It's nothing worse. You're just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna talk for 9 more minutes now, and
they just look dead in the eyes.
Dead in the eyes. They don't understand me, man.
Arms folded.
All right, so who are 4 people you would love to have dinner with? Anybody in the world that's alive. I usually do that alive, but I'm gonna say alive.
Only alive?
4 people. You can invite any 4 people to come to dinner with you, and you're not like forcing the conversation. They actually want to be there.
Do you want to go first?
No, I'm gonna struggle.
I would say Jeff Goldblum.
What?
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. He seems like a very interesting individual.
Jurassic Park?
No, not because of that. Just like in general, like
that's so random, bro.
It is.
That's so random,
his
bro.
His interviews, like he just seems like a cool guy. Like he's really into like streetwear and stuff. Oddly enough,
yeah.
I'd like to share a glass of whiskey with that man.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
from The Fly. Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he plays jazz. Like he's doing it.
That's dope.
I'd probably say Jay-Z.
I'm a big Jay-Z fan.
I mean that's perfectly fine, but just
this is your list. I'm not. I'm critiquing your list.
Well, what I think is interesting about both of them is how they both kind of like transcended their circumstances or like what they're even known for.
Okay.
And like been really good in business and like tapped into like other platforms.
Right.
I think that's really interesting. And it'd be cool to just like ask them some questions like, hey, how did this come to be, and things like that. Who are 2 more? I'd say Pharrell, just because like I love his production. Like I grew up listening to Nerd, and clips and everything. The stuff he did for Snoop Dogg,
right,
in like early 2000s. They had a song
Drop It Like It's Hot. Like you knew at that point it was gonna be an instant classic.
That was that song in middle school. Like, yeah, that was the one.
It's gotten better now.
Beautiful too.
Beautiful. Yeah, you knew. You listen to hip hop back in the day, growing up?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Lil Jon from the window to the wall. You remember those school dances? Okay, so that's 3. Last one.
He's one of those people that kind of transcended as well.
Lil Jon is the smartest person that you never expected.
Yeah, because he went from, being like the hype guy in hip hop to being like a hype guy in EDM. And he DJs now.
Waka Flocka too.
Yeah. Yeah, he transcended into like EDM too.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of parallels between them. Like people draw the line in the sand between them because they sound so different.
Yeah.
But it's very similar.
Yeah. So who's your 4th? Anybody in the world.
Anybody in the world.
And everyone has a translator so they can speak English for the sake of it.
Just off the top of my head, maybe Barack Obama.
That's what I feel like everybody, right? Like you have to have Barack at the table.
Yeah.
Just shake his hand,
Yeah, that's it. You can leave now, sir. I don't want to bother you any longer. I just want to shake your hand. That's all.
Yeah,
We can have Olive Garden breadsticks.
No.
Who's your 4th?
Okay, so originally I was thinking Michelle Obama, but I think Barack.
We can do +1s.
Okay, good.
All
right, perfect. Okay, so Michelle and Barack for sure.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell.
Who's that?
She's.
Am I supposed to know who she is? Why are you looking?
She's an actress.
She's an actress, but what was she in? She was in like Sing Along or whatever.
Yeah, she did Frozen.
Frozen.
She's in The Good Place. She's just seems like a funny and genuine person.
Give me more.
I mean, that's
what movie?
Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars.
I don't know what else. I think Frozen was kind of her biggest thing recently.
Okay, you like her? Okay.
Yeah, she's just super genuine. Her husband does a podcast that I listen to as well.
Okay.
So again, he'll be there.
Okay.
Which will be great.
Yeah, +1s.
Yeah.
We're okay with that.
And I'm struggling with the other 2.
The best thing about Olive Garden is it's all you can eat breadsticks, so it never runs out.
You gotta get the right
+1s.
people to eat with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably someone in like some science field.
Like Neil deGrasse Tyson? Or is that too sciencey?
He's a little too much. I mean, honestly, I was thinking like a woman, like some sort of scientist or NASA. I loved Hidden Figures.
Oh yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
So like one of those women,
of those scientists, yeah.
Like where you just like pick their brains on all the stuff that they like, the shit that they had to deal with,
right.
and even just the understanding how they launched a rocket or
right.
how they launched the ship to go to the moon. It's just insane,
Right.
And lastly, I don't know who I'd pick. I mean, I think Beyonce is fairly obvious, but I think I don't know that I would want to sit at dinner with her so much as just like watch her perform.
You just want to shake her hand and keep her going.
No, and I want to watch her.
She gets to
I want her to sing in the room with me.
Yeah.
Like I can just like hear I would just cry immediately.
Beyonce Destiny's Child or Beyonce post Destiny's Child?
Oh no, like Homecoming Beyonce. I mean, she's great Destiny's Child too, but like Homecoming is just like fantastic.
See, for me, I've always been an underdog my whole life,
mm-hmm.
so I never liked Jordan. I didn't like
mm-hmm.
just because everyone liked him and he was so good, and I just didn't have the killer instinct in me growing up. So like I liked Scottie Pippen more. I liked his wingman, right? And like even today, I would say I'm the world's greatest wingman, and that's probably something I need to work on. But like I really think I'm one of the best. Like what's it called? What's the like Batman and Robin? I'm the best
sidekick.
I'm the best sidekick ever, and I need to change that. Or is that an appropriate role for me? I think I'm the best sidekick on the planet.
Good. You then play that role. Do you like that role?
I've been very comfortable with that role. I'm very comfortable with that role.
Then what's the problem?
Shouldn't everyone try to be Michael Jordan and
Why?
Batman? I don't know. I'm asking y'all. You guys are people too. I need your.
Yeah.
I think everybody should strive to be their best in whatever situation they
thrive in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless of what public or others' perception is of you. So if you want to be the sidekick, but you're pressuring yourself to be front and center because that's what the world looks to, that's not a good reason to do it.
Right.
See, like for example, I shy away from leadership, but I'm naturally good at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do too.
Like there's a lot of times, like for example, I'll sit in meetings and there's things that I see in my head that should obviously just be said or done that I've learned apparently are not being thought by everybody else. So like I've been, as of the last 3 years, been way more confident in speaking my mind. And I hear people go like, oh, I never thought of that, or that's a really good idea. And I'm like, what? Like, that should have been obvious. But I think that goes back to, I don't want to disappoint people. So I don't want that pressure to be on me. I say, hey, you should do this thing.
Yep.
You should do this thing, and it fails.
Yep.
Right.
So I think that's where that comes from. But yeah, I don't know. I've had that conflicts recently where like, I don't know if I should be trading up to try to be more of the centerpiece or that lead person, or should I just be comfortable with being the side person?
Maybe the answer is that you're comfortable with doing whatever it is until you're not and you want to change it.
Okay.
Because I feel like your interest in what speaks to you and what feels correct to you is going to change depending on what you know or where you're at or what you learned.
Yeah, but so that's why I didn't like Destiny's Child, because everyone loved Beyonce. So I literally liked the two girls that were in Destiny's Child.
Michelle and
Kelly Price.
Kelly
Rowland.
Yeah.
You remember Kelly
Wait,
Price?
Hold on. So they had 4 members
No.
at one point.
No,
But
it's the fourth girl.
Was Solange the fourth one?
No.
Michelle.
They started off with 2 different girls. It wasn't even Michelle.
Damn,
Didn't one of them
Fresh Prince
go off and
they
do something
swapped
else
out the
instead?
mom real quick. Yeah.
Did you ever notice that there was 2 different moms of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
And they tried to finesse it like you wouldn't notice.
My wife and kids too much.
What? Okay, talk to me about Tyler, Texas, because what kind of childhood did you have? Like, like, I can't believe that people have never seen Friday before. Have you ever seen Friday? Bro, I'm literally gonna make this interview 3 seconds and just your face right there. That was a gift.
I heard you reference My Wife and Kids too.
All right, we're gonna do race relations real quick, just for a brief new segment called Race Relations. What's something that you think she wouldn't know about but she needs to know about?
I'd say The Wood. The movie The Wood.
Great. Stop. Go. Ever heard of The Wood? What is something you think he should know about but he doesn't? Any king. This is a broad. This is an anything topic.
I don't know. I think that probably.
How many episodes of Friends have you seen?
Okay, no.
That's what I'm going
for. Everything that is with me, typical of me, has been shoved down everyone else's throat. Like you don't need to know about it.
No, but how many episodes of Friends have you watched?
But
I've never watched that show.
Exactly.
But do you need? I don't care about Friends.
No, but it's a huge part of American culture.
Sure.
Right? Like this is things that Americans feel like every American should know about. And that's the thing that's crazy about.
Should know about or have seen.
No, should know about.
But you know about Friends.
You know about Friends, but you've never seen an episode.
That's what I mean.
But when people,
I haven't seen Friends I didn't see Friends until a year and a half ago.
A go-to elevator conversation would be, can you believe they took Friends off of Netflix?
But I don't give a shit about that conversation.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
I'm gonna go within 20 minutes of that elevator being stuck, I'm gonna know how many siblings you have,
right.
what your challenges with their parents are.
Yeah.
What is your personal thing that you're working through right now?
People don't know that. It's crazy because there's 2 Laras, and it's crazy because nobody knows that person at work. When I hear people talk about to describe like, oh, you're so this and that, I'm like, what? Like,
yeah, I'm very serious, and I don't.
Do it. You have a good work face.
I feel like when not trying to divert the conversation.
No, divert it.
But I feel like when it comes to media and music, I feel like there's a lot of things that are like cultural staples for Black people. I can't speak for anybody else, but there's things like Martin and Friday and things where like I feel like everybody has seen it. Like
It's just not true.
well, like within like I feel like a lot of Black people have seen things like that, or
Right.
like In Living Color and things like that. And it's kind of like this unspoken thing where like, you know, you said something and I was just like
Right.
tapped into
My
like
wife and
my
kids.
childhood.
Right. Okay. So last racial related topic or just diversity related topic. African American growing up in Santa Barbara, being a woman in a corporate culture, being a woman leader in corporate culture, where it's across companies, not even that high. Like, what have you appreciated about being one of the few in your spaces, and where have you seen it could have benefited a little bit more if you had more people represented in your spaces? You growing up in Santa Barbara, being like you had to be like half a percentage.
It was just me. It was me, one of my cousins, and
So
there was like
you're all
another
related.
Black guy
Right.
in my high school, like 2,000 kids.
Can you imagine that?
Wow.
It's less of there was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's
Like
more bus
you mean like
drivers.
professionally? What could I have like benefited from?
Nah,
Or-
I left it open-ended for a reason.
I feel like the road would have been paved a little more.
For you?
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't have had to jump as many hurdles.
Hmm.
I mean, professionally anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Had there been more representation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's like just quick thinking. That's what
You were taking a lot of blind leaps.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I feel like any type of creative field is like a blind leap. Like you don't
For
know
sure.
it's going to work. You just enjoy it and try to take it as far as you can.
But for you, that was amplified because there was just not a lot of people that you've seen like yourself.
I think so.
Okay. And what about yourself? Like being a woman in leadership, which is across any corporate company, is just super low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I think in my life, one of the themes has been, unfortunately or fortunately, being one of the first, at least in my friend group, which has been a challenge because I can't like go and talk to, other people that are in that situation. So like I was the first in my friend group to get a divorce, and now I've helped other friends move through that, and same thing. So like it can be lonely and challenging.
It's lonely at the top.
Yeah. There's definitely there's definitely like I don't know, challenges of being a woman in tech and being a woman in a corporate environment, and it's also an interesting thing because you kind of, I at least am in my head sometimes where I'm like, well, I feel like there's something else going on or there's some opinion going on right now, but I also don't know if I'm just being paranoid about it.
I'm glad you said that.
It's kind of so you end up talking yourself in and out of what you think is happening.
There's an extra layer of stress that doesn't need to be there for a lot of the people that want.
Right. Did
I get passed up for the promotion because?
Yeah, exactly.
Did he say this to me because?
Yeah. But then you second guess even that, and you're like, oh, am I using that as a scapegoat to defend or make excuses for something that didn't happen?
And that's something that people that don't have to think about that, like, don't even stand how stressful that is. Because then you overthink, like, am I overthinking? Overthought. Oh my gosh, yeah. So, the first question to ask was, what were the advantages of being the one and only, usually in your space? Like, what did you appreciate about being the minority in your spaces?
I appreciate that I can take the things that I grew up on, or like my personal experience, I can bring that to the table.
Share that.
So I feel like I'm kind of like trailblazing in that regard.
Right.
Like sometimes I can play like the intro to like play the Martin theme song or something in the middle of the night, and it's like maybe only a couple people will get it, but like that's a piece of me.
That's huge.
And like what I grew up on,
for sure,
that I can like bring.
Sure.
Just feeling like you're creating you're like molding the clay.
Right.
I guess that's
You're actually making a difference.
yeah.
What about you? What's something that you appreciated about being one of the only in your space?
Probably that I am able to take the things that I've learned and help other people learn them earlier and faster.
Yeah.
Because I don't have like a mentor, right? I don't have someone that's sort of like walking me through how to do this.
Right.
And so what I'm hoping is that I can take my experiences and not necessarily create other people exactly like me or that act exactly like me, but to give them the tools that I wish I had learned earlier.
Sure, and that's why it was a dream for me to work with interns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I recognize I've had so much help. I was also very lucky,
Mm-hmm.
but I have people that didn't end up where I was. It didn't have the breaks that I did.
Yeah.
Didn't have the coaching that I did. And like, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. Like the biggest value that I got out of whatever is just being able to spread that.
Mm-hmm.
What is all right? So my dream, the reason why I want to get famous is so I can have a restaurant of my own, so that I'm not dependent on that restaurant. What's the Stevie and what's the Lara themed restaurant?
Oh, that wasn't the question I thought you were gonna ask.
What would you think I was gonna ask?
What is it? What
breadsticks would you have at your restaurant?
No. I thought you were gonna say, okay, my dream is to get enough money to open a restaurant.
what's
What
your
is your dream when you get enough money? What are you gonna do? That's what I thought it was gonna be.
That's
so.
such a
I need
huge,
to pick a theme of a restaurant.
What would your theme restaurant be? Mine would be a like sports bar called Oxus Spot.
Oh.
It would be a lot of couches, it'd be TVs, that's
Okay.
the only reason why I'm grinding really. Like,
Got it.
I want to get rich. I want to get rich so that I can have a bar restaurant.
Yeah,
called,
would you drink in it every night?
I would work there. I think that one of the things
like bar?
I would work there. I wouldn't need to, but like a couple nights a week, I would work behind the bar for sure. Like, that's how I grew up. My uncle owns his pizza on Parkland. He makes his own pizza, makes the dough every morning.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Right, it's his spot. I think like some of the things that I've enjoyed throughout my life is bringing people together, whether that's a party or this podcast, or I just really enjoy bringing people from different walks of life together, and I enjoy the creation of a relationship, whatever relationship that may be, and I've always enjoyed connections. You know what I'm saying? So like I thought like that is the ultimate place, like a bar, grill, whatever. Like I want to be that guy behind the bar. It's like, oh hey,
yeah, go behind the bar, not making food.
No,
you wanna
definitely
be
want to be behind the bar.
Yeah.
We definitely want to be out there mingling with people, making sure everyone's cool.
Yeah,
you know, that's always been something that like I enjoy and I value, like making sure everyone's comfortable in my place. You know, and so and I know that the majority of restaurants do lose money, so that's why I want to get famous. People want to come to Ox's Spot.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't need it. You know, it's like, oh, you're a comedian. Ox has a place in Reno and a place in,
Reno.
Yeah, everywhere. All the popping spots.
Okay,
yeah.
Reno.
But I want a chain of Ox's Spots. Couches and TVs everywhere, Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy company, even though, and then they all have to go. That's the best part, is they all leave. They don't stay with me, So we was able to have fun together. Then I gotta get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So that's
what would the drink be?
Oh, there's a few drinks at Ox's Spot.
Okay.
Some may say it's known as the spicy Mike Walker, but it's known as the spicy Ox. Okay. If you're ever balling on a budget, okay, it's the you would do Red Bull and lemonade. Fire. Not Red Bull, I'm sorry. What's it called? Fireball.
I was like, Red Bull and lemonade.
Fireball and lemonade. If you're balling on a budget, it's fire, okay? There's, for all the holistic motherfuckers, we'll get the Booch and ginger ale.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Booch and gin. Booch and vodka. So we'll get like all the different variety of kombucha flavors.
Yep.
And then you mix it. I didn't know kombucha has like 0 calories. I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah, it's tea.
There's like no, okay. If you want to get really ratchet, there's this thing called Hennessy that I found out about.
Okay.
It's a combination of tequila and Hennessy.
Oh my god.
And that's if you want to get ratchet.
Oh wow.
Right. What else? What are other concoctions that I've formed over my life?
These are like from personal experience.
You think I'm just subscribing to something that I would never try before? What kind of person do you think I am?
I feel like a lot of people who...
Oh, no. I've tried all these. And then I'd probably somehow figure out the original recipe for Four Locos. And maybe have like Four Loco Friday, you know? Did you ever have Four Loco, the original Four Loco though, before they changed?
I've never had one.
Wow, y'all are not missing out. I'm telling you, your internals are probably better than mine right now. Yo, yeah. Okay, so that's my Oxford spot. What is your spots? What are your restaurants themes?
Mine would probably be like a taco place on the beach.
Okay.
It'd be something super low key, like you don't have to wear shoes.
Like the In and Out of tacos.
I don't like In and Out. It's not. I know.
What do you mean?
I know.
You don't like what?
Well, okay. So I grew up in Texas, so I went to Whataburger and Sonic.
Can't even say it right. It's Whataburger.
No, it's Whataburger.
It's Whataburger. Okay.
And so like you go to In and Out, you have no options. I want to be able to choose what I get on there and like get tater tots maybe, or
you like the Yard House menu. There's like 16
well,
pages.
there's like a midpoint, right?
Yeah.
So like In and Out has got 4 options. Cheesecake Factory, Yard House has 85.
Yeah, it's a bibliography.
You need like 10,
right?
Something like that.
Right.
Yeah. So mine would be a super low, like super laid back, on the water, like on the beach, pizza, taco,
beach and burritos.
Yeah, that would be great.
Laura's Beach and Burritos. LC's Beach and Burritos.
Yeah, and maybe with a brewery attached, probably. Even though I'm not really a beer person.
What's the brewery then?
Why
is that such a? It's an 805 thing. Everyone loves fucking microbreweries here. What is that?
I feel like it's becoming even bigger in Santa Barbara than it is here.
Because they haven't had any yet.
Well, because Santa Barbara was all about the wine, and so now beer is having its day. The kombucha, everybody got back into it. What about you? What would your restaurant be?
I would definitely want to do something like a Roscoe's, like a soul food, or like Southern, like Cajun, like a boiling crab kind of place. Yeah, something like that.
Have
like
you tried Smoking Jay's? I've heard everyone tell me I need to try Smoking Jay's.
I've never heard of it.
Food truck. Okay, they do fried chicken and waffles. They do.
Is it local?
Yeah, they just popped up. So Mom and Pop's Tacos is like the best food truck area.
I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard it's great.
And people have said, well, if you like that, then you really you gotta try Smoking Jay's. I remember the question I was gonna ask earlier. What has been y'all's biggest holy shit, I can't believe I'm doing this moments? In a positive way.
Do you have one?
I do. You actually asked me this the last time, and I feel like it was very underwhelming compared to.
Yeah, because you weren't ready for it. This is your second chance.
Great. Well, mine's gonna suck.
And you'll come back on. Don't worry.
I'll say once I got the opportunity to have a residency in San Francisco,
which is dope, dude. You were driving up there every other weekend. Was it my birthday that I saw you?
Yeah, we were up there for your birthday.
You weren't up there for my birthday, bro. You were up there.
we were doing it.
You was up there working.
We were doing it.
And I brought my friends to the spot.
But I told you to come, and
But for me, that was like, I would much rather celebrate my birthday by helping other people accomplish their goals rather than people coming for me. Like that, for me, like introducing people to a new place, number one, and then getting people exposure to what you were doing. I knew that would in some way help getting a crowd there, which was already a crowd there. And I wanted to support you too, because like I understand how difficult it is when you're up on all that grind. So like that was one of the best birthdays I've had. Like honestly, that was one of my favorite nights. Like getting to see you do your thing. That place was popping. My friends that showed up all bought drink. Like that was one of the best birthdays I've ever had.
I feel like I'm glad you had a great time. That was a good night. It was fun for sure. I had some other people come up from Ventura. I'm not.
No, I remember that now. I'm laughing because I remember that night. You go ahead.
I feel like I have 2. That was my first one.
Okay.
My second, like I can't believe I'm doing this moment, was probably when I posted the flyer for like the first show like that I did in Santa Barbara with ASAP Mob.
Yeah.
And I was like I'm about to send this and put this on my story. Like this is not Photoshop.
Right.
This is very real.
Right. Steezy and ASAP.
Yeah, like just seeing the lineup.
Right.
Like I was at the bottom, but I was still like
you on it.
On the
you
list.
on it. Yeah.
Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. Like just to go from like watching YouTube videos, and,
right?
You know, listening to their music on Spotify to like DJing for them,
right?
Like they're like, hey, Steezy, like play the next track.
Right.
I'm like looking around, like, hey, like he said my name.
Right. That's hella tight. Yeah, I was at one of the shows in Santa Barbara. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
That's super tight. Yeah.
Well, so there's one that I can't talk about yet.
Okay.
So when you have me on again, we'll revisit it.
We'll revisit that.
That one is my number one, but I've never been much of a traveler.
Okay.
But when I went to China last year.
Okay.
And I definitely had that moment when I was on the Great Wall. That was very weird. I was like, oh, this is the thing that I've seen, you know, in pictures and in textbooks and
saw
everything like that.
And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty surreal.
Was it overwhelming? Was it super overwhelming?
It wasn't overwhelming. It was just sort of like it was almost like you couldn't believe it. You just kind of looked around and were like, how, like, oh, this is,
holy shit.
I'm actually across the world and on the Great Wall of China. That's so weird.
That's hella tight. Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe recently, so I've been doing races. So
dude, this is what I'm talking about. She just one day she tells me, she's like, I think I'm gonna try a triathlon.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
That's the swimming, running.
Biking.
She said, I think I'm gonna try a triathlon one day.
And they're all back to back.
Back to back. Not like, hey, like you can rest for a couple weeks and then you can try this other, then do
another activity.
Yeah. I don't have it in me.
Yeah, so I did the Santa Barbara triathlon last year. And that's been on my list for a while. So that's a mile swim.
And you know how many laps in a pool is a mile?
I don't.
36.
Yeah, so it's a 1600, so 32 probably.
32 laps. That's
and a 50 meter.
That was the first part. Go ahead. Wait, that's crazy.
The bike was, I don't totally remember, maybe 35 or 40 miles.
So where's that? Give us, because we're like, he had to break down the music.
Yeah.
Where's that? What's 35 miles?
So from here, that would be to Santa Barbara.
Are you kidding me?
Yo, how long does that drive take, bro? Like, that's like 40-minute drive.
Nah.
You know how much on a bike that would be?
Yeah.
And then the run part.
And then a 10-mile run.
I would have been done halfway through the swim.
Like, you know, take me
halfway.
So my dad biked from California to Philadelphia.
Oh, wow. How long did that take
30 days.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Man.
That's insane.
Crazy. And I could see you doing that.
Yeah.
I could see you doing something like that.
I keep signing up for bigger and bigger races.
Yeah.
So I did a century. I'm doing a century.
A century's 100
mile bike ride.
He's upset. He's not even happy. He's upset.
I don't even have my inhaler right now.
Right.
It's already like.
I'm doing that in March, and then I'm doing a half Ironman in May.
Oh no! Respect to you. That's
Thank
amazing.
You. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Last question. I like to finish on a cheesy question. It was 2020. New Year's just passed. By the time this came out, probably a few weeks ago. What is one habit that you want to stop for 2020, and what's one habit that you want to add to your life? Also, shout out to Comfort Food, by the way.
Yes, sir. I'm repping the boys. Cozy Kid.
Cozy Kid.
Brandon.
What? So.
Oh, you want me to go? All right, I'll go first. A habit I want to get rid of is I want to stop I want to stop putting things off.
So okay.
I feel like
creating excuses.
Yeah, I feel like I always tackle a lot of my tasks like within the time frame, but I put it off until like when it needs to be handled.
Right.
And it'd be cool to like just
handle things,
knock things out. You know.
You need an assistant.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. What's one habit you want to start?
I want to be more active. I want to start skateboarding every day again.
Okay. What'd that do for you? What's that do for you?
I feel like I'm more creative, and it was just kind of like a social thing, like just going to the park and like just improving, like seeing other people like skating that are like better than me, and
right.
It's like, oh, I saw this guy do this trick. Let me see like if I can do that.
Right.
Things like that. I also got more like creative ideas, making music just by being out there. Like just on the ride up, I can like put a playlist on shuffle and like hear something and be like, oh, let me like try to do something.
That's tight. Yeah.
So I feel like it helped me in different ways, just skateboarding as often as I can.
LC?
My start and stop are kind of related.
Yeah.
So I would say that, and I had a series of like good like epiphanies over Thanksgiving and Christmas that helped me get to my New Year's. But stopping being so judgmental of myself, and now I'm realizing of other people.
Yeah.
Where I prejudge what someone might think of me or what they're thinking or what they're doing or how I'm appearing or whatever, and just living in my head like that. Getting out of that. Being more empathetic up front and really trying to understand where people are coming from. And to be open to admitting that I don't know everything and always look to learn something new from every experience.
Man, that is one of the best things to learn, is I don't have to know everything. I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. I don't have to be the funniest person in the room. Like being humble is so nice. It's so nice being humble. This is way better than I expected. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Tuesday nights and school night, you know what I'm saying? It was great having you again. I hope to have you again sometime. But is there any messages you want to leave to the people before we sign off?
For me,
how do people find your music?
Yeah, you can find my music on any streaming platform. My name is Steezy, Steezy.
Right.
My Instagram is Steezy_Steve. I also have merch available. And what I'm doing right now is I'm donating 20% of the profits to the VH1 Save the Music Foundation. Okay. They create music programs or fun music programs for kids to like give them something to do and make kids want to be creative. Like, give them that platform. Right. So you like buy a hoodie, buy stickers, pins, whatever, the merch, and 20% goes straight to that. So,
very cool.
Yeah, the link is on the Instagram and everything.
Nice.
Sign it off. How do people find you? What do you want? What do you want people to know?
LinkedIn.
Yeah, no, I love that. You can add me on. Yeah, I love that.
No, don't.
No, so what's that? Sign it off. How do you want people to?
I don't have a sign off.
Yeah,
I'm not that cool.
All right. Well, what's the message you want me to know?
I appreciate you. I'm so glad to know you and to be your friend and to be invited to Wing Night.
The good weed's lit on this one. Yeah. Riding by myself. The world turning, the weed burning, them haters talking, I keep earning. Know some who say life's a bitch, well I'ma keep flirting. And fuck that bitch for the money and Louis V purchases. Old folks jack my car cause they know just what this is. Niggas flexing hard with no bars, they got weak service. Keep verses, Mortal Kombat, look at my ring. If I ain't ballin', bitch, then what you call that? Nothing but